Hi guys, welcome. It's Mike Newton back in the swing studio here. Today we've just got a little head-to-head here with the Srixon Z series of irons. So we've got the 545 iron here, which was the 2014/15 model, and then we've got the brand new 565 model, which has just been launched. So the 565 has just superseded the 45 range here. So we're just going to do a little head-to-head here and see maybe if there's any improvement with the new version against the old version. Obviously a very classic iron here. The 5 series of the 3 models that they do is the more forgiving one, but still forged head, but you've got that bit of undercut in the back of the head here, so you've still got that bit of forgiveness on your off-centre hits. But let's maybe see and test out whether the new 65 head is a little bit more better performing, friendlier, feel, etc. You know, we're going to give you some feedback here against the 45 one. So we're going to use the Modus Tour 130 shaft in stiff, 1/2 inch longer. I've got both heads in a 2-degree upright lie angle, which is my sort of spec here. So we've got the same shaft, which I'm going to take out of this one and put it into the 65 one. So the test is very fair here. Just checking the lofts here online. The lofts are, these are 2 6 irons here, and the lofts are both 27 degrees, so identical on the lofts here, so there's no change of loft angle or anything here. So we've got GT2 HMT fired up here to give us some real data. We're going to start with the 45 head first. We'll hit a batch of shots with that, and then we'll flick over and have a look at the 65. Okay, so we'll start with the 545. So this is the one that's just been superseded. Okay, I have done individual full reviews of both the 545 and the 565 on my channel, so you can go and check those out for a more in-depth review of each iron. Okay, let's try and hit the first one. That's a nice strike, nice opening shot there. Okay, so that carried out at 189. Yeah, nice shot. Okay, I'm going to hit a batch of shots off camera here and we'll come back to you shortly. Okay, great. That's a batch of shots hit with the Z545, which is last year's or the previous sort of model here. Feels great. As I say, I've done reviews on this, so you can go and check those out for more in-depth review. Feels great. I love the look of it. Slightly thicker top line here from the 3 models they offer. You've got that undercut here. You can hear that sort of like hollowy sort of sound when you strike the iron, which is obviously that undercut at the back of the club there. Feels beautiful. You know, it's a forged iron. It feels great. I love the look of it. A little bit chunky, as I say, so it gives you that little bit of confidence when it's sat down by the golf ball. Okay, so we'll have a look at those numbers in a bit. We'll flick the shaft over into the Z565 head, the newer one, and then we'll hit a batch of shots with that, and then we'll come back and have a look at some numbers. Okay, so now put the Modus Tour 130 stiff flex into the 565 head here. Okay, again, very beautiful look. It's a similar sort of process or feature to the previous model with that undercut at the back. The Srixon saying they've updated the VT sole on the bottom of the club, so that ridge that works through is a little bit more revamped. Grooves are slightly bigger, wider, I think for more consistent spin, they're saying. The little V section here, this little weighted bit at the back, has actually moved more towards a toe in the 65 one. In the 45 version, it's a little bit more towards a heel, okay? But again, very similar look. I think if you didn't know the previous model, you looked at that, you think, oh, that's quite very similar look, really. You can't do a massive amount different with these. They were very popular, and I imagine it's still going to be, so they didn't want to probably change it too drastically here. Anyway, let's hit a batch of shots with this 65 head. Okay, I'm just going to switch over the launch monitor here, so we've got a different colour ball trace. Okay, we've got white on this one. Okay, I think the first thing that really stands out, I'm going to show you a little close-up in a bit of the playing positions. The first thing that stands out there is the top edge. It's not quite as chunky, or it doesn't look to be as chunky. Whether they just shave that differently in terms of the shape of it, or the roundness of that top line, or even the colour of it, and definitely the toe section, that polished bit of the toe just looks to be a little bit bigger. That's my first sort of instinct there as I put the club down behind the ball. But still a very good looking golf iron there. Okay, let's get one away. Good strike, that felt great. Felt really good. Yeah, carried at 190. Yeah, 190 carry, that feels great. Yeah, again, a really good strike. Did that really well. Yeah, carried at 193. Okay, right, I'm going to hit a batch off camera, and we'll come back to you shortly. Okay, 190 carry. Great, feels beautiful. There's a batch hit with a 565 model. Okay, looks very, very similar. I'm going to have a look at some numbers a bit more in depth now. So there's the ball flights here of the two model irons. So quite a nice little group in there. Just look on the left hand side of the dispersion rings, right on top of each other pretty much, which is good. Let's have a quick look at some finer numbers. Okay, so you can see in the red at the top there, we've got the 545, white batch of numbers 565. Okay, so we're just going to look at some numbers in. It's quite interesting here actually, because the club head speed's slightly quicker with the 65 against the 45. I didn't really feel that, to be honest. I didn't feel like it was quicker. Not really sure why that would actually happen, but looking at ball speed is very, very similar on average there. Okay, so 127 against 127. You see the launch angle is exactly the same. Spin is very low. Backspin is virtually the same here. Peak angle pretty much the same, 1 yard in it. Descent angle 1 degree in it as it comes in. Carry distance exactly the same. Total distance exactly the same. I'll tell you what, if there's every group of numbers of more exact together, then there's nothing than these two. I mean, as I say, you possibly, you know, companies bring out new models, 565, think, well, this has got to be better. You know, obviously they market it very well. They'll say it's better. They possibly see slight improvements on a robot. Okay, but I think with this Srixon range, the 45 range that came out were very, very, very good and very, very popular. They probably didn't want to move away from that too much, but 2-year cycle, which is good for a lot of golf companies now. You know, they obviously got to make a change to start trying to entice people to buy again. But really, sort of performance-wise, it's not very, very dissimilar. I mean, having said that, if you're going to be an argument here, if you think I've actually increased my club head speed by a couple of miles an hour, yet ball speed hasn't changed, hasn't gone up, okay, and distance hasn't gone up. So you could possibly have an argument here. The efficiency numbers here, 138 against 135. The 45 is actually a little bit more efficient. Again, you've got to build into feel with this. I didn't really sort of see that in terms of the feel aspect. Both felt great. I didn't feel like I swung the 65 quicker. It felt a bit fierier in terms of the face, but that's probably because it felt like I struck it a little bit better. But then it's not really sort of showing that in ball speed. So all in all, I think if you've already got the 545s in your bag, is there a reason to change? I don't know. It's a tough one. Probably not. If you like some new toys in the golf bag, then yeah, change. But I think, you know, if you've got the 45s already in there, you're sorted. I think if you're looking at maybe putting the Srixon or having a go with it, do try the 565. It's as good as the 45 and a very good cracking iron. Okay, it's quite an interesting little test there between the two Z565, 545 irons. As I say, I think when you look at the actual look of it, you know, I'm looking at the sole here, I'm looking at the back of the golf club. I'll get the two up here for you to have a little closer look at. I'll try and get one on top of the other. See, there's not a lot of difference really on the look. It's made some subtle changes where they place the weight. some change to the grooves, a little bit revamped VT sole there, some very subtle changes to be honest, but you can see on actual numbers there, I'm more than happy with both of those batches of numbers. You know, I've said this in the previous videos as well. I could quite easily put them in the bag. Now, sometimes, you know, obviously I'm a golf professional. I don't play a lot, granted, but you know, I do carry the 745s at the moment in my golf bag. I'm actually looking to probably update those into the 765. Having said that, I do get some more consistent numbers with these fives. And it's definitely an iron that possibly is overlooked. You know, maybe the better player might just overlook the 5 series and go into the 7, possibly the 9 series. Don't overlook it. Give it a go. All right, it is a slightly thicker look, and that might not please your eye for maybe the better player out there. But I tell you what, it just feels so easy to hit, and I know back in my mind, if I just venture away from that middle, I've got something there that's going to help and back me up. Okay, it's quite an interesting one. What I do find with a lot of guys and through custom fits here, from what I sort of suggest to them, is they combo these irons. So they go with a 565 in the long iron, so maybe the 3, the 4, the 5 iron, sometimes even 6 iron in the long irons, and then move into or progress into the 7 version in the shorter irons. So that is also an option through custom fit. If you do that through custom fit, do make sure you check out the lofts, because the lofts are 1 degree different throughout these 3 models. So you've just got to get the lofts altered slightly to get the right gap in as you transition from one model to the other through your set. But that is a good option and a very popular option also. So, okay, really interesting test there. Two beautiful irons. You know, as I said before, you know, if you've got the 45s in your bag already, is it worth changing? I don't know, probably not. If you've maybe fresh to Srixon and you're looking for a forged iron but with some bit of forgiveness and wanting some consistency, which would definitely, well, I'm seeing that on my numbers, then definitely go and try the 565. It's a beautiful iron. It's a very good price point as well compared to other forged irons on the market, but the quality isn't sacrificed at all. There's some really good sort of spec shafts and also grips there with no extra charges, so it's definitely worth a look here. Okay guys, thanks for watching again. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. There'll be a link up here somewhere. Do check out my other videos and comment below, you know, with your thoughts on this video. Let me know what you're feeling, what you're thinking. Okay, thanks guys. We'll see you all very soon.